the home show that started it all. In this episode, we go back where Behind the ToolBelt began, a weekly podcast live. Actually, I'm sorry, a weekly Facebook live, not a podcast, an iPhone, and a wild weekend at the local home show. We have a kind of a belief system that either we're going to push you up or we're going to push you out. I don't want to be around 5 other people that aren't pushing themselves to succeed. Success isn't about taking, but giving value first. Compensation follows contribution always. This is true authenticity. It's the truth. Every week, this is our story. We share with you our journey. We share with you our scars.
Please welcome your host, Ty Cobb Backer.
And we are back. Welcome back, everybody, to Behind the ToolBelt. Today is episode 319. And I got to be honest, this one feels different. I know I've said that a couple times, and I'll probably say it even more, a few more times. But this is home show week. And because this week is home show week, the same home show where this podcast and honestly a big part of our company culture got its start. And when I say start, I don't mean we planned some big media strategy. I mean, we were doing a weekly Facebook live. And I might say podcast every now and then, but it literally was a Facebook Live. Okay, back in the days where you could host watch parties from an iPhone 8. And literally we were learning how to do this from scratch in some guy's basement. And somehow from that, we ended up building something way bigger than just a live video. And back then, I mean, the reason why we even went to that home show that year was simple. I mean, we wanted to sell those gazebos, and a lot of you have heard of the story, you know, about how the podcast got started and or why the initial why behind it was solely to, you know, raise money for a nonprofit Workforce Now program. And, you know, we built them. We built the gazebos. The team pulled together, and the materials that we poured into these things, I mean, it was like legit red cedar. We put the best GAF shingles on these things. And I'll be honest with you, I was really nervous about it because I knew that we dumped a lot of time, energy, and resources into those gazebos. And every time this year, I think about this, and a little more come back to me about the timelines and things around that time frame. And I think we got bit by the bug. Charter Homes probably still does this. I can't think of the name of it, but they pick an organization, and every year they get a group of their coworkers, and they go out and they'll do something for like a nonprofit or something like that. And we were invited to go out and make some roofing repairs on this Crispus attic building in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And I had sent Chris Baker out to go take a look at this roof, and he's FaceTiming me and sending me pictures of this roof. And this roof was just toast. I mean, it was like it was a peak roof, but it was like an old brick. I think it was brick, like an old warehouse type of building in downtown Lancaster City. And he was like, dude, there's no way we can't patch this thing, man. There's layers upon layers. And so Chris climbs down off the roof. I was like, you let them know that we're gonna put a new roof on this thing. And we didn't really tell anybody. It was just kind of like not that it was a secret between Chris and myself, but we just didn't want to make a big deal out of it. I don't know if we were hiding or if we were being humble at the time. And looking back on that now, I think we were just hiding. But long story short, we went out there. A group of us went out, coworkers, and then we ended up actually putting gutters on this building. And I was doing a Facebook Live there from there, and we were talking about it. And I think the team members, I don't know, that might have been after. Anyhow, I just know that we were bit by the bug, the giving back bug. Once you do something, for somebody else, and that warm fuzzy feeling that you get, we were definitely in the middle of that. So I was introduced to the Workforce Now Foundation, which is powered by the York Builders Association. And I believe I was a board member back then. And long story short, we wanted to build these gazebos, auction them off at the home show, and raise some money. We wanted to just raise some money. And so the truth is that we didn't start the podcast because we had some grand vision of episode 319, right? We started it because we wanted to help raise money and promote the auction and support the mission. And then that weekend of the home show came, and we decided that we were going to go live. Like that whole entire weekend, we were interviewing other business owners. We were interviewing homeowners that were walking by, because everybody was so intrigued, because we had this iPhone 8 on this little tripod with, and I think like these wonky ass lights and a TV monitor behind us that said, TC Backer and Horizon Lawns and, anything else that we were trying to promote, at that time. And I think the dates and the times of like when the silent auction was and all this stuff. So everybody was just very intrigued, and man, it was wild. And we went live constantly and all day. And then in the middle of the weekend, we had this moment where, and I still remember it clearly, where we realized that we were actually reaching more people through the live videos than the number of physical people walking through the home show. And I'm not saying that there wasn't a lot of people. There was probably somewhere between 2,000, 3,000 people. And I think even back in those days, it was like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it might even have been Wednesday, Thursday. It was 4, 5, 6 days that the home show would run. And we realized right away, because of the watch parties that you could host, people were just, I mean, shit, we would have 1,000 people watching us at one time. And I mean, that's organically, that's insane. And I know some of our videos were getting like within an hour, 10, 15, 20,000 views. I mean, it was ridiculous. So obviously right away we were like, all right, we're tapping into something here. There's something to this. And, fortunately we started it for all the right reasons, and we stuck around for all the right reasons. Cause I know a lot of times we start things for all the wrong reasons, but we end up continuing to do them for all the right reasons. But this was one of those times where it was like, I was so nervous about getting rid of these gazebos, and how were people going to know, to come, where to come, when the auction was, and all the details about that. So about, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe even a couple months before the home show, would you say it was like what, December, maybe 4 weeks? So it was December or January of 2019. January of 2019 is when we started the podcast. That would make sense, because this past January was 6 years that we did it. And I think it was Jana suggested, hey, why don't you say something to Shane DeGarry? Because back in that day, Chris Mendez was like infatuated with Shane DeGarry. And the dude's crazy. He's an OG when it comes to Facebook Live and learning the algorithms and the reach, and taught us so much stuff about how to do a Facebook Live / podcast back in those days. So we had a Christmas party at at our shop over in Dover. And we invited Shane. Shane was at the party, and everybody was excited to see Shane because Shane's like a local legend, kind of like a Facebook movie star kind of character. And that a funny thing that I say that, character, because you would think that he's playing a character on his Facebook Live. However, that's what you see on his Facebook Lives. And I'm sure he still does them today. What you see is what you get with that guy, because he's a crazy dude. He's a beast. Definitely one of those people that it's hard to keep up with him because he will outwork anybody. And I think that's where that saying came from, is because of people like Shane DeGarry but Vic, why don't you roll that 2-minute clip that you cut up real quick of our very first episode. We didn't even have a name for the podcast yet. I want to show you how raw and uncut it was back in those days.
Just give me a second to get everything straight. Just give me 1 second. Terrified. Good evening. Guys, we're here. So we want help with the name. Let me see how it looks. Good evening. Oh. Guys, we're here. So we want welcome, man. Glad to have you. Up on the phone. And you want me to share?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So, and I'll give you a phone. What's up? Good evening. Glad to have you guys, man. We're so excited. So if everyone, little housekeeping, if you could please share, let's see how it looks. We got our new show on tonight. We want some help on the show. What you guys think of a good name would be. So that's what it looks like. Good. Nice?
Yeah.
Looks good. All right. So turn it the other way and then you can just share. I didn't share yet. So I can share for you and I can give you a phone to look at. Let me get the show up here so we can say hi to everybody. Give me 1 second. Appreciate everyone being here. The next show is going to be Monday night. No, we're going to do Tuesday, right? We're doing Tuesday. Yeah, we're not doing Tuesday at 7. All right, good. So give me 1 second. We'll see everyone. Boom, there we are. So you can just look right up at the front screen, Ty. If you want to give me your phone, I'll start sharing a little for you.
Terrified.
Thank you. Yep. Oh, it looks like you had it pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just share to groups. Unless you want me to do it for you?
No, I got it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone. Chris, I didn't see you. The food you had at your
Mendez.
party, your office, awesome job you guys did.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All the vendors and all the people, I wanted to say hi, but Chris, I didn't even see you were there. But
that
good
was
to
the
see you,
Christmas
Nathan.
part.
Good to see you. Guys, I'm excited.
Yeah,
we got some fun stuff going on.
Yeah, I thought about this all day long.
Awesome, man. It's exciting.
Fucking
What we're doing in our
long,
community. And what's great is people see that successful people have successful companies do things in their community.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And it's because they come from somewhere. At the end of the day, all of us have the same story. It's just a different variation, but it's all the same.
Pretty much.
And that's what attracts us, is we know how hard it is, and we want to help everyone in the community. And you guys are always doing stuff,
Absolutely.
so I love it.
Absolutely.
We're excited to have you
We're
on.
always looking
fun,
for new
man.
things. It's contagious.
Yes.
It is.
That's what we keep saying. It's contagious.
Contagious.
Man.
Yeah,
It's like, cool.
when we do something, I think those who can't be involved, that work for us, that
I
can't
really
get
stand to
involved
watch
with it,
this.
feel some kind of way that they weren't a part of it. So, and I think that's some of the drive too. Like we want to continue to give back to the community and
everyone?
stuff, so we can, and include the rest of our employees and take care of other people. We've been, I don't know about you guys, but I know I've been given a second chance. So I feel it in my heart that it's my obligation to give back what was so freely given to me.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't agree anymore. We're excited for the series. So we're going to be here. Today is Thursday. We're going to be here on Tuesday. And we're going to be talking about TC Backer Construction. We're going to talk about Horizon Lawn Care.
Yep.
And then eventually we're going to talk about, at the end of this, there's a special event coming up on February 9th, right?
Yeah, man.
Very
Saturday.
special.
February 7th through the 9th is the York County Builder Show. The Home and Garden Show, it starts Friday at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, February 8th, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, February 9th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
Nice
So
work.
mark your calendar. It's $8 to get in at the door. You can get it online. Anyone under the age of 18 is free.
Free of charge.
So with the internet and with all this stuff, I think people, we need to be reminded, I'm a homeowner, on the importance of bridging, and that's what we've always done, is bridging social and media, not just be one or the other, right? But if you can become both, if you can find a way to be both, then you invoke change on a greater level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that's why the Builders Show, you want to go out there and meet the guys and gals in the business that are around here, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a great opportunity to meet reputable people in every type of trade.
Colin, Mike.
There's gonna be people, lawn care people.
Yeah.
And at that moment there, seriously, that was the moment for me where it all clicked. There was many moments, especially at the home show, but that in itself, to have the balls and the audacity, and Baker to come with me, kudos to him. He's been and has and always will be a driving force of why we continue to do, obviously, TC Backer Construction and the growth of the company. But for this moment, where things started to change a lot for us around that time frame, in TC Backer Construction, there was a culture movement for us, and our team was watching, every single Wednesday. It started on that night was a Thursday night. We switched it to Tuesdays because our home group was on Thursday nights. And I know I didn't at that time didn't want to miss my home group on Thursday nights. So we made it Tuesday nights. And over the years, we switched it to Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And then most recently we switched it to daytime instead of evenings, so we could get our evenings back during normal business hours. We switched it to Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But here's something that I didn't expect at all was, our team members loved it, right? Especially when we would call their names out, or we would recognize them, for something that they did good at work. We would do birthday shout outs. We'd do work anniversary shout outs. Those were just the basic essentials that I know at some point in time, we need to circle back to a lot of that stuff. And that's kind of why one of the reasons why I wanted to start or have this podcast like this today, because of what this means. The turning point for the culture, for the company. There were so many cool things, and that we were still in that exploration mode, which, I mean, we still are today, but there were so many variables and so many unknowns, even from Wi-Fi, how Wi-Fi has advanced from then till now, where that was our biggest struggle back then was Wi-Fi, like just making sure that we had cell phone service in order to go live from our cell phones. And hopefully we were able to inspire a lot of people to step outside their comfort zone and do a lot of content creation and all that stuff. But we would celebrate the work and the efforts, the wins, the big and the small wins. Chris and I would talk about them all the time, stacking wins. And, it sounds simple, but it mattered, because recognition is power. And when your people feel seen, and we used to talk a lot about that too, they show up differently. And, the home show was a culture forger for us. Going to that home show didn't just help, the auction. It brought us all together. It helped create the culture we have today. And if I'm being real, it has also sparked, a lot of our other community, events that we hold today. And, the home show was one of those moments where, the business wasn't just a business. We became a team. We became a family. We created that culture. It became a community at that point in time, that community that we have today, and, full circle, fast forward to now, we've attended, this home show every year since then, obviously. And every year we've built something to auction off, for the workforce now. And we did the same thing this year. we're not going to do an auction. It's raffle tickets. So literally you could win one of these pieces for $10. The raffle tickets are $10 a piece. So I'm hoping people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for these $10 freaking tickets to win these beautiful pieces of yard. I don't even know what the hell you call them. Like planter boxes, a greenhouse, all the typical stuff that we usually build is the same stuff that we'll have on display this year for $10. And so man, it's kind of cool because I was thinking about this long and hard this morning and trying to piece together, the timelines of all this really amazing stuff that we did. And it's like when we caught that bug, it was like, all right, what are we doing next? Like after the Christmas attic thing, like what are we doing next? And and what's cool about when the home show starts, it gives us enough time in between. Like we've recovered from, mentally, physically from the 21 turkey salute. We get through the holidays. We get through January, and then February comes rolling around. It's like, all right, it's home show season, and it's like everybody starts getting jacked up again. Everybody starts getting fired up again. It's like as soon as that energy starts to dissipate, and it's like, oh, there's something else. And it's like right after, the home show, we have our annual diaper drive. We have our annual food drive. We have roofers in recovery. We have swing for recovery. We do shit. What else do we do? There's so many damn things that we've done and that we do, but we've strategically planned these. So to keep that momentum, to keep that culture of more than just why do we come to work every day? It's like the why is, there's more purpose to it today of why we show up, why we suit up, why we show up, and the cool thing is that we get, even what we do here, we're providing shelter for people's homes. Like it's much deeper than, just coming in and selling roofs or whatever the case might be. But this is grassroots. And when we talk about, live, raw and uncut, it was because of that episode number 1 that you guys got to watch a few minutes ago. That was live, raw and uncut. That was not recorded. Obviously it was recorded so we could, hit the replay button for you guys to watch that. But all that feedback, I'll tell you what I did is I was watching it on my phone and my volume was up. That's where the feedback was coming from. And just those little things of like reminding yourself to turn the volume off your phone so we could share it out to people, because back then that's what it was about. And I remember getting flagged from not flagged, but put in jail, Facebook jail, because I was sharing it to too many groups. And that's why I don't usually do that anymore. And this whole thing has been bootstrapped, organically built. We never paid, to promote it or push it or reach, for the reach or anything like that. What followers we have, what views we get, that is all natural. That is all organic. And, I love it. I wouldn't want it to be any other way other than live, raw and uncut and organic. I'm going to throw organic in there, but I would have never guessed, that it would have turned into a podcast. And even in those early days, when we were standing at the home show, we had a decision to make. We were like, okay, are we going to continue to keep doing this? Because by now it was like, we've already had like 4 or 6 weeks under our belt, every Wednesday or Tuesday at that point in time of doing this. And like I had mentioned earlier, we went live, freaking, I don't even know how many times. I would have never guessed, that weekend would have turned into all of this. But we decided, let's keep doing it. And, because here's the part that still blows my mind. Okay. That journey, those events, okay, that community, that mission has and continues to shape me into the father that I'm becoming, the the significant other that I'm becoming, the leader that I'm becoming. And it's like that continuous growth, that continuous push to keep learning. I'm still signing up for stuff. I just saw some sales training thing that came up, and I don't know if I'm going to be the oldest guy sitting in the room or not, but that was the first thing that went through my head, that I'm probably going to be the oldest person attending this sales training. And the reason why is because I want to know, are people doing something different? What are these young bucks doing? And if so, I am the oldest person in the room. I want to know what these young bucks are doing, but it's because of this podcast that has laid the foundation for me to want to keep growing and want to keep pushing and wanting to continue to have an impact on our community first and foremost. And then if that grows outside of our community, whether we inspire somebody else to start a podcast to impact their community with, or whatever the case might be, or our reach sprouts out into the neighboring city or the neighboring town or neighboring city or state or whatever, that's great. That's because of the hard work that we've all put in, and not just myself, but all of us. And the list goes on and on and on. Somewhere along the line, and this is what's crazy. So I joined the YBA just to get a better price on our booth at the home show. Years later, got on the board. You join it, become a member. You sit on the board, and then if you sit on the board long enough, you get put on the executive team. And I sat on that executive team for probably the past 3, 4, 5 years. And you start out as like a treasurer, secretary, the person before the vice president, then you become the vice president. And then this year, I was elected.
Boom, we're here.
Oh, that's okay. Was that one of our home shows? Is it? Go ahead, show that. Let's see it.
Boom, we're live, Ty.
Nice.
Man, I'm excited.
We're here at the show, brother.
Good to see you. This is episode 6 behind the ToolBelt live.
Right.
Let's check the sound and stuff. Like, this is a whole new deal for us. We're glad to be here. Once I know we're all good to go, if you guys could all share this out, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just got to find the live connection real quick. So just give me a second. But anyway, it's Friday. We're here from 4 to 8. TC Backer Construction, booth 1507. So, boom, there it is. All right, let's hear the sound. Good to see everyone. Christy, how is it? It's probably not perfect, but can you let me know? Sound is good, Christy said. Thanks, Chris. She said you didn't measure the door.
Oh, my. I forgot.
But the dog is the one that did
right.
it.
Yeah, the dog,
right?
The dog distracted
Our
me.
dog definitely,
Yeah,
you're not going to come in there if he doesn't want you. But
That's
look,
right.
we're glad to be here. Thanks. Great setup you guys have.
Thank you very much.
I mean, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then we got the gazebos, the roofs are on them.
Yes. The roofs.
You got to see
the
the roof.
cupolas are on them. Yeah, man. They're nice.
Can we talk about the auctioning off?
Yeah.
Because I want to focus on that for a second.
Sure.
Can we do that?
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble connecting.
Visual's a little blurry. Let me check it. Okay. Thanks, baby.
What are you going to check? It's your cell phone.
Let me see if that's better. You're having trouble?
Yeah.
What are you connected on?
Office. TV
Office? Hi, everybody. Let me share real quick.
Unscrewed network.
Clifford's one of the Hey, is the sound okay? Good to see everybody. How's the visual? I'm going to get a little bit more comfy here, so give me a second. We're glad to see everybody. I'm going to get some water going, get some share going. Jocelyn, good to see you. Daniel Barker, good to see you, man. Appreciate everybody being here. We're live. So, how excited are we, man? You guys have a great display.
Yeah, man,
there's 2. Well, let me take a look at that for you. Here. You're running pretty low.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone.
Yep.
Let's tell them about how many displays. It seems like you guys have half this place.
It feels like we got half this place. Well, we have our display down here. We're 1507. Come on in and see us. We had built some gazebos.
Still blurry to me.
A part of the work.
It's a little blurry. So let me see why it's blurry. It's
Workforce
probably.
Now
Go ahead, you
program.
can keep rocking.
And so they had asked us to build some gazebos, and we did.
Those gazebos are monster with the roofs.
Yeah.
They look good. Hey, I appreciate the feedback. And I know we got to be a little louder, I would think, but maybe we don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But those gazebos are the value. Can we talk about the value of those?
There are at least $12,000 gazebos. The bidding starts at $5,000. You can come on down here. We have gazebo A and gazebo B. You can put your name, put your bid next to your name. It's a pretty simple thing to do. We were going to try to do something on Facebook. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to work that, but it's a silent auction. It starts at $5,000. And come on down and support us. We're donating, from the sale of the gazebos to the architecture and Harvest Transitional Living, and that goes to the Workforce Now program and two dog rescues. One's a pit bull rescue, and the other one is a German Shepherd rescue.
I got us.
Oh, good. Thank you very much.
All right, so is it still blurry? I got him live. We're doing a couple things here.
That was awesome. That's definitely from the archives. Yeah. So obviously this week is very special and holds a special place in a lot of our hearts. I know the team is pumped up. I know we're jacked up to celebrate another, home show season, and this is the thing, I never saw this coming when we were trying to figure out, Facebook Live on an old iPhone in a basement. But, what makes sense to me now is when you stay close to the mission, you grow in responsibility, and with that, we had no idea how much responsibility was going to come, when we made a dedicated decision to like, okay, we want to make an impact and these are the people that we want to impact. And then to follow through on that, it takes an army, it takes a village to do something like that, and it's been amazing. And, and each year I get more and more, inspired to do something. And this year I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here a little bit. We plan on starting our own nonprofit. It's going to be called Hope Under Construction. And it's just been weighing on us for a long time. It's like, because we try to do really big things and sometimes we're limited to our resources because we're not a nonprofit. But there's one more piece to the story here. All of this, the home show, the podcast, community work, the fundraising, has been a big, huge part of what I have considered a part of our success, my family's success. Jana's, myself, Rocket, Mackenzie, Jacob, who have been drug all over York County, all over the country, because we went on a mission. I wouldn't be able to do this without, first and foremost, my family, my immediate family, and then our TC Backer family. And I wish there would be too many names to name, of those who have come, those who have stuck around, and those who have left, but big shout out to the girls over at the York Builders Association, Workforce Now Foundation, which now I'm actually I've been sitting on that board. I'm on the exec board over there. I'm the vice president of the Workforce Now Foundation. And I'd like to put in some more time and effort into that once I step down. After this year of being the president at the Builders Association, I'd like to become the president over at the Workforce Now Foundation and spend more time focusing on the younger generation getting into the trades. But, you never know what's going to be possible, when you rally people, around for a cause, and you can't unsee it. When you see it, you can't unsee it. And, you start asking, what else, right? What else can we do? And I remember asking that same question, like, what else can we do? And Baker and I literally were like, who else can we help? And Jana and myself and, everybody, everyone stepped up. Gio, I see Gio on there, Zach Fisher, his family, Vic, your family, everybody in your family has helped out, from Julie, making coffee at the home show to, I can't even count the number of things that your family, our family, and the TC Backer family has stepped up, and Howie and everybody's down there now, unloading stuff, So anyhow, maybe next year I'll have a few other little things that I can jog my memory about that it inspired us to, have done this and maybe throw together a better timeline on how all this stuff came together. But anyhow, so if you're listening to this when it drops, or if you're listening to it right now, here's what I want to say. Okay. If you're going to the home show this week, come find us. Okay. Come see what we've built. Come buy some of those little red raffle tickets for $10 a piece. Okay. Come buy one. Donate. If you don't want to buy one, donate. Share it out. Take pictures of it. Share it to your coworkers, your family, your friends, because these are really nice pieces and you're going to get a hell of a deal. But most importantly, it's going to a good cause, because what the workforce now does matters. Our average construction worker is 55 years old. And again, that's old statistics. That's probably going back to our very first home show 6 years ago. I was stating that statistic back then. So it's probably changed a little bit. And once all these people retire from our trades, what are we going to have? We're not going to have many people. Our jobs are going to be sought after. And I see a lot of people making a good living. So anyhow, and I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to, every team member who has ever shown up and carried this with us. To everyone who's watched our live videos, especially the early ones, and have stuck around as long as you have to be our number one fans, those who have shared it, commented, supported us the whole way through, and to the York Builders Association, to the workforce now, and to everyone involved in making this bigger than us. So anyhow, this is episode 319, and you never know what one weekend can start. And that was our weekend at the home show. So, all right. Thanks for listening. This is Behind the Tool Belt. If this episode has hit home, share it with somebody, and we will see you this week at the home show. See you guys at the home show.
Thanks to our sponsors, TC Backer Construction, Hook Roofing Marketing, Roofle, and Project Map It. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. We are streaming on all major platforms.